down. Didn't we just beat that big monster?
Weren't you frightened, dear? It was quite the predicament.
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millilith guards were there, and those powerful heroes with their visions were there. Everyone was there. When danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, they make fun toys and tasty snacks and loads of things that make the harbor so pretty. Thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to participate.
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay. It must be hard being an Adeptus. Aww.
You see, this is what the country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti for their protection. But although their blood is weak, the time of contracts between gods and Liyue has long since passed. Now is the time of contracts between Liyue and its people.
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place. Wouldn't you say so, Cloud Retainer?
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue Harbor.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, conqueror of demons.
Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons means. The city of Liyue has changed much after our long separation. One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts of Liyue, fair enough. Away we shall, and return whence we came.
Since we Adepti have consensus, then one shall persist no further. But how will we ensure that the Liyue Chising will not simply exploit their power once we depart? In my view, that is still a thing to be guarded against.
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this right of supervision is best left to the people of Liyue.
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. All's well that ends well, huh? Oh, right! It's that child wanted to unleash the god so he could lure Rex Lapis out. But we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our own. So Rex Lapis never showed up. Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the bottom of that Archon's death, too? Paimon doesn't get it. But isn't the strongest lead we have the Adept? Stylus rite of parting that we're organizing? No idea where Zhongli's gone. Let's ask for him at Wangshan Funeral Parlor.
Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that Wangsheng Funeral Parlor isn't in the best state to receive guests.
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you please tell him we're here?
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment.
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the Fatui? Last time we saw Zhongli was before... Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? Visiting... We had better go and make sure...
You call this cooperation between Harbingers? Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the land? I'm sure you must have enjoyed that. Oh, it seems that some of your friends have arrived.
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child. And
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the City of Bards, was it? I'm glad you still remember my name. Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget.
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map. This is certainly a bit awkward, wouldn't you say?
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted a Fatui Harbinger.
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against you personally. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle we had at the end. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may very well hold this against me, but that's up to you. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually, I think...
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to chat once I'm through here. You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so kind.
What in the world are you talking about?
The contract is fulfilled. That...
How sanctimonious.
What? So you're the Lord of Chio? No, wait. That's an exciting twist and all, but why give the Gnosis to the Fatui?
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract, for it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you, and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky, and all of Lyric goes into an uproar. Talk about a disaster.
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil over. That's what he wanted to see, am I right?
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain. As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. It is now 3,700 years ago that I founded Liyue together with the Adepti. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time, until one drizzly day. As I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers, "You finished your duties. Go ahead and call it a day." I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself, have I already finished my duties?
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, was Liyue the city I had dwelt, so I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child, the Adepti, and the Liyue Chising to play their roles together on the stage that was Liyue. Indeed I was. The Gnosis, which I had kept for so many years, suddenly seemed to have lost its meaning. That's right, which is why I continued to safeguard the Gnosis until now.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and use your divine powers to bring Liyue back under control?
Of course, and it would have been all too easy for him too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured when faced with the death of its deity.
In the end, the resolution to all that has transpired was even more satisfactory than I could have hoped for. Take the Adepti, for instance. Owing to their years of seclusion, they were the least informed. Yet when faced with a crisis, they commendably showed the greatest amount of restraint possible. Not only did they manage to cooperate with the Qixing, but in the end, they even made efforts to understand the hearts of the people. Credit is also due to Signora, the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Archon to fulfill our contract. At my request, she kept everything she knew in strict confidence. This despite the eavesdropping ears of her colleague, Child. This meant I could remain as Zhongli, even having the chance to fulfill the age-old traditions of Liu in this mortal form. Thank you for joining me on this journey, Traveler. All of these things turned out as I had planned. There is only one thing that I had not anticipated, and that was the conduct of the Liu Qixing. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liu. They seized the opportunity to supplant Liu as divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly gain complete control of Liu.
Huh?
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me. And it was also that which I longed for the most. As such, this is the best parting gift anyone could have given this god of old.
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me? You've practically kept me in the dark!
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city upside down. The Lord of Geo... If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo-Archon, Liu, would never have been able to become a dazzling diamond of a city.
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight? Hey, haven't you learned the Liu saying, don't always call it as you see it?
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter. We should return to Zapoljarny Palace and seek an audience with Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa. Come, child.
Fine. I'll meet you there later. I'm not...
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon has no idea what could be a good trade for a Gnosis.
Realistically speaking, there is no such thing.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. If the deal was of no benefit, then I certainly would not be inclined to agree to it. My agreement with the Cryo-Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo-Archon. My contract to end all contracts. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the scales, uncover that answer for yourself in your future journeys.
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, you spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean...
Yes, and to think that this happened right on the heels of the incident with Rex Lapis, too.
Say, do you think the person who assassinated our lord and released...
Now that you mention it, that's very possible. I mean, it all fits together. That person must have colluded with the evil god to harm Rex. Still, what sort of supernatural prowess
forget it. Guessing's no use to us. Look, the...
Well, since we're going through with this rite of parting, I guess...
So Rex Lapis is really...
Oh, come on. Do you think that the assassin could have been a normal person? You know what I think. I don't think any of the gossip on the streets you hear from those shady types is... There's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard that the assassin was that Fatui fellow. Youngish...
Fatui? They certainly are...
Shh! Lower your voice. If the Fatui catch you in their sights, Rex Lapis won't be...
Hear ye all! Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too must return to dust. Gods and Adepti live glorious lives, but both light and shadow have their season. So too must they face divinely appointed trials. Rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis was murdered. Now, let the truth be revealed. Having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. He beseeches the people of Liyue to grieve not, and to let not their hearts be saddened. Nor are they to believe street-born rumors, or indulge in baseless speculation.
Paimon needs a translation on what the Qixing's announcement said. So that's how... Something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up looking for the murderer? Not to mention how this excuse sounds like something they just made up on the spot. Could the Qixing already have known that Rex Lapis wasn't dead? But Zhongli said that neither they nor the Adepti knew anything. Did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis changed hands? Exactly, right? Ooh. Look, it's Ningguang and Kuchi.
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to the heavens is the end of the contract. And it is also the end of an era.
3,700 years of contracts burnt and reduced to ash.
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous. But blinded by our prosperity, we forgot that time can be pitiless.
The long, unending dream of our Archon walking among us.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, we must learn to say farewell. Will you stand with us as we re-establish our contracts? As we build a new age of prosperity?
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianquan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh? Is she looking this way?
Traveler.
Yikes! She really is.
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
So young.
The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. And as name your price.
Whoa.
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
Perhaps memento.
Huh. But it seems, well,
As for the mortal...
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this. Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their emotions, thinking that they'll never see Rex Lapis again. And here you are looking...
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I have borne for 3,700 years? Right. If the two of you can spare the time, I should treat you to a meal at the Shinya kiosk.
Ha! That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knockout.
You're right. I do lack the Mora.
But why would Morax lack more?
As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Jean, when I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand.
Oh, no wonder. Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were spending because you've never had to. But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you...
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. You don't... In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange... The Archon Morax could never experience life as... I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli, traveling the streets of Liyue with... That is true.
Paimon thinks that we should make a move.
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea, Inazuma, is presently the Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another name among locals in...
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before. Raiden?
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the Shogun of Inazuma, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know...
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control. But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate, this is what visions are.
Uh-huh. That's how people in Teyvat see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision
Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions with...
They want to seize visions. But what...
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are...
Whoa!
The Animo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she is... The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away, will only strengthen her resolve to pursue eternity. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most... 7 ideals for 7 gods. And of these, eternity is nearest unto the heavenly principle. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? The time of the Adepti has long... Kuching is absolutely right in saying... Now, though I did laud Ningguang's desire for power, believing this to be a good thing, could the original person who brought up the idea of... All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? That said, the reason why the Qixing were so eager to resolve the incident and stop pursuing... I hinted as much to... How did I accomplish that, you ask? All right then. Was there any... Well then, I suppose you...
I have gathered everyone here today to perhaps some of you will have heard the news already. I am, in fact, planning to rebuild the Jade Chamber.
Rebuild the Jade Chamber? That's a huge project!
So the rumors are true. No wonder the price of building materials has gone up so much lately.
The Jade Chamber means a lot to Lady Ningguang. Getting involved in this would be a huge opportunity.
Lady Ningguang, is there any way we can be of service?
Patience. Since the news made it out a few days ago, Nevertheless, I do have a few matters I should like to The building site has been chosen, and most of the materials have been assembled. They are as follows: Sunset Vermilionite, Wonder Cores, and Adepti Sigils.
Excuse my ignorance, Lady Ningguang. I'm familiar enough with Plostrite, but I've never even heard of those other two.
Only sufficiently large pieces of Plostrite, or specifically, Vermilionite, may earn themselves the Adepti Sigils serve as a means of... Although these I take the saying, time is money, more seriously than you may ask me anything. And
These things won't be easy to get hold of. But if it means a chance to get some inside information on Liyue Harbor...
Then it's the deal of a lifetime. Information from Lady Ningguang is priceless.
Haha, what a coincidence! I won't divulge too much, but I heard some murmurings about some Plostrite just the other day.
No. We better move...
Ningguang's rebuilding the Jade Chamber? This...
So you heard my announcement, did you? What do you think? Interest? Yes. Providing the question pertains to...
Really? Ooh, then Paimon will... Then we'll never be short of more...
Of course. The construction of the Jade... I have other... Remember, the...
Ningguang seems super busy. First we gotta get out of Eugene Terrace. Huh? Look! It seems like there's some...
Ma'am, you seem like an eminent and distinguished young lady to me. I can see that as it happens. We have some information about the materials that I really think might interest you. Come on.
No.
Don't be like that. Why don't you stand there? Oh, right, yeah.
Did you hear that? They said they had some useful information! Information! They're not here. Let's keep looking.
Well, will you? Don't worry, we're not bad guys. You give us some more.
Boss, I got a bad feeling about this. Look at her, the white hair, the energy she gives off.
So what? She's loaded. How are we ever going to repay those gambling debts if we just let money walk away from us, huh?
I've already told you. I don't need your information. If you still can't grasp that, I'm happy to repeat it in a way that won't be so easy to forget.
Come on, ma'am. It's not about whether you need the info or not, okay? It's about you taking out your money and
I won't...
No more excuses! Yeah, I saw you. Strolling into Leo Lee Pavilion, then seen you at kiosk, then Wan Min restaurant. Same story each time. How could you afford to be so wasteful if you weren't from a rich family?
Master warned me not to lay a hand on anyone in Liyue, but here we are. Perhaps...
Boss, I'm telling you...
What are you afraid of? We're just selling information. It's not illegal. If she lays a finger on us, all the better. We'll sue her forever.
Oh, you again.
The Millilith? What are the Millilith doing here? Did you do this?
Silence! How dare you threaten innocent civilians?
No, don't be...
Shenhe.
Shenhe?
My name.
Oh, so your name's Shenhe. Paimon's name is... well, Paimon. And this is Paimon's travel buddy.
Oh, I've heard about you two before. Thank you for helping to defuse the situation. I could have dealt with it myself, though. I suspect smashing his head against the ground a handful of times is all it would have taken to get him to surrender.
You can't do that. That's way too violent. This is Liyue Harbor. There are laws against that kind of stuff, you know.
Laws? No.
Really? So how exactly...
That would be my stomach growling.
She's so on... Wait, that's right. They said you went around... Then of course you're still hungry.
Chingson, glaze lily, violet grass.
Kinda hard to explain. Anyway, Boo Boo Pharmacy's not far away. After all... You... Seems like it's her first time in Liyue Harbor, and she doesn't seem to get how things work here. If she...
Are you here to buy some herbs? I do hope you brought your prescription.
Chingson, glaze lily, and violet grass, please. Half a pound of each.
What kind of prescription is this? Sounds more like a lunch order. Oh, here you go. That's everything we have in stock.
Thank you.
She's really eating.
My hunger has now abated.
though they were not completely devoid of sweet fragrance. After.
So, how come you chow down on these and barely... If Paimon had enough Mora, Paimon would go to the fanciest
Because I'm not sure whether I will remain here in the future. The food of the mortal realm is most delicious. But should I return to the mountains, yearning, sampling each dish in order to appreciate its taste is enough.
Return to the mountains.
Enough about me. What are your plans from here?
Oh, right! Paimon almost forgot! We came out to take part in the Rebuild the Jade Chamber competition! And now we're
I see.
Yep! You get to ask Ningguang any question you want. Were you interested in the contest too,
I came for the rebuilding of the Jade Chamber. However, you have shown me your kindness, and I would now like to lend—
Wow! You really don't have, but having an Adeptus help out will make things a whole lot easier.
Then let's not delay.
Great! Paimon
I am not sure whether or to what extent this plan can be— We simply need to dispose of everyone who is currently ahead of us. That—
Vito! That is—
Really? But I hear that
Look, we want Sunset Vermilionite. What—
I was wondering who I could hear arguing over there.
Baishu? What are you doing out here?
Lady Ningguang wishes to purchase a large batch of wound dressing. We're running low at the store, so I came out to fetch the ingredients personally.
Huh? How come Lady Ningguang needs so much wound dressing all of a sudden?
I'm not too sure. I did hear she's looking to rebuild the Jade Chamber. Maybe for— Oh, and she also borrowed Chi-Chi. Meaning Boo Boo Pharmacy is very short-handed.
No, we've got other stuff to do.
The variety of plostrite used in the Jade Chamber, yes? There is some mention of it in the Seven Mountains. As far as the records show, virtually all Sunset Vermilionite in existence has been mined and taken possession.
Okay then, let's go. Thanks, Baiju.
You're quite welcome. Good luck to you all.